center circle. Knights shooting outwards now. With a nade onto XMP. M19 getting shut out. Steven taking fires towards 8C as FaZe will have to move in the coming minute or two.
But the stage have to guard against NIP and also G2. Knights right at the center of the circle against Liquid, about to face each other.
And Knights are defending
coming.
They're defending their compound against Liquid here, but Navi is shutting down from elsewhere, but it's Penta finding the remaining member of Moonwolf on the east, but in the middle, Knights and Liquid. There's the contest. Samty moves up, Texas jumps out, looking for the fight with Kramer here. Is Samty just going in?
He's going in on
the door. He wants to move forward aggressively with a pizza just behind him, though.
But in that compound, it is 2v1. If he's found, he will go down very likely. If he can bring one with him, I think he may not be just inside, but
he's
just outside.
Yeah.
Lying down right next to the door.
He's smashing windows. But here's Na'Vi defending both of them and being aggressive towards both of those squads in the middle as James gets found by Uber from long range. Ibiza does take down Texas though, so the compound is now open for Liquid to breach and control, but they're still being shot down. They've got Kramer inside and Samty will take him out. As Knights, Voxic, he is not the last one standing. Draydon is actually further south. Knights very heavily split and they have been cut in half by Liquid.
And also Liquid to take few hits from the Knights, as it's possible to get one res, but James, he is somewhat out there, so it will take some time, and also at least a few amount of smoke. If M19, Constantine can actually get that angle, he might be able to finish off one more member from Liquid.
G-Clef, is this another Na'Vi circle? They've held the same mountain for the
FaZe.
2 or 3. I guess FaZe are in a decent spot as well. It's just Na'Vi from this high ground. They're popping their heads over time and time again, just finding the shots. They find James again. Velan dies outside in the blue. Sadovnik aiming towards the rest of Liquid behind that little truck.
It's not just Na'Vi, as we're just going to see the next circle going towards Liquid, Knight, and FaZe once again. Na'Vi this time has to shift. There's Penta waiting towards their south.
You know, I had to, right? To make sure they didn't get that circle shift again.
Oh, yes, Knights getting Mexi down. That headshot. And Penta, it seems like they are sniping down few of the members on the far left.
It's a difficult-looking shift for Na'Vi. Even more difficult for Penta, though, it appears, as Knights absolutely have their number. And seemingly the only way for Penta or Na'Vi to move is into each other and then decide where to go. They're both aiming in the general direction of each other. Here is Penta looking towards Na'Vi, the AWM of Chris. It wants to take blood. While Young down just to his left. This is a decent looking nade. Is he going to try and line it up? Not quite left enough. Good idea though from Chris. As Na'Vi do make that transfer from hilltop down to low ground.
Also in this uphill, Penta, they could be spotted by Knights easily. Just without a tree, the leaves.
Look at Rekrent's position though. Penta group up as 3 to try and backstab Sadovnik and While Young. This is the info that Chris has given his team, but he doesn't know about Rekrent. And Rekrent opens up. He does get knocked by Udyr, but is it enough to find that one kill? He's got to go back and revive 2 of his teammates as Na'Vi can really look to strike now.
Circle's closing in. They do have a minute plus of time. I think that might just be enough because Na'Vi's also getting fired by Liquid at the same time.
Na'Vi do lose Rekrent, but they've got While Young, Sadovnik, potentially able to move tighter to that circle.
Even after the rest, they have to go through Na'Vi, and Na'Vi's got to go through another one at this. So they have to make work right now. They do have limited time.
Look at Konstantin coming in.
Yes, he has been just proning on a spot for the last 3 minutes.
That lone M19 player, Voxic into the smoke, trying to steal that kill.
Surely saw what Enzo did last night. Trying to do the same. Oh, he's going to face...
Oh, Chris.
Sees him.
He sees the head. Is he going to go for this?
Not going for the frag.
Difficult decisions to be made, and it will be Sadovnik that takes down Chris. Jumps out of the shack. He's got another man to handle, and he will absolutely body Udyr.
6 kills by Sadovnik alone in this round. And they keep on going.
Na'Vi can go for the quick revive here. I am still worried for them, though, about that lone M19 player lurking on the north. Liquid still with compound control after they took it from Knights. Knights did swing further south, but guess who has a full four-man squad roaming the wastelands of Miramar? They are hungry, they are hunting, and they know exactly where their targets are.
The Tigers are coming from the west. Liquid, look at that. 5 teams, 11 alive, and FaZe has a full squad. Basically means that it's going to be a wild dream here. For the other teams.
Knights. Trying to breach this compound. Draydon is in a bit of an interesting spot
in a different house.
House to the south.
I think they're yet to know, or just about to know, as Mexi was actually looking towards that angle. Towards the southern compound. As this circle will definitely make the fight between Liquid, Na'Vi, and also Constantine on that top north from M19.
Roxic gives it a go. But FaZe really are set up very strongly here. They have the northern side covered from Liquid, the southern side covered from Knight. And Liquid does still have to contend with Na'Vi. And we are all wondering who knows about Constantin in that northeastern side. Has anybody seen him or heard him for the past 3 circles?
I do not think so. He did not fire a single shot or has thrown anything unless he did some smokes.
Look at him, creeping, crawling. Sneakily moving. Sadovnik, though, might just be able to peek over and find him. Sees the pixels moving, but Constantin is faster, quicker on the trigger, and he'll get the kill.
Grabs one. Liquid hears the shots. Going against Samty, but FaZe actually getting the kill from the other side.
Excuse me? Hey, 8C, that's not very nice. How's that fair?
Well, they got the kill point. Liquid got I believe Liquid got a lot of damage in. Maybe it was FaZe doing all the damage after all. Liquid was surely shooting towards that side.
8C gathers it up, like you said, the points are his. And for FaZe, as they still have 4 alive.
Down to 4 teams, but guess who has the full squad? It is FaZe. For those sweet headshots, not landing on this time.
Now it's Na'Vi with that lone lurker, while Young, that solo rogue agent out there in the open. 8C, got to be careful. Peek your head over, get it taken off as the circle, nice, shifts away from everybody. Every single player has to move to make this circle happen.
FaZe, I think they will just transition towards the south and try to wipe Knights down and then move towards with the compounds. I think that's a safer one. But Liquid making the initial approach. Ibiza already walking in.
It's hard to tell with the low ground and the high ground what's safer and what's easier for them with the cover that they have. Going from high to low may feel nice now, taking out Knights, but then if you have to go back up from low to high, Liquid could have that advantage.
I think Liquid had a really good read where, say, FaZe would want to go basically with that much cover. And that was a dangerous path, but they have already positioned themselves in.
Wild spray from 8C. Good general direction. Not quite hitting.
Uba getting Voxic down. One more member, Drayden's on top.
He's going to get pinched by Ibiza, though. I think Liquid might just have Draydon. I'll go in. Find the spray, easy peasy for Ibiza.
Knights going down in 4th. Na'Vi still has a member. Liquid has 2, but FaZe still in control of the situation.
But here's that kind of awkward position where Liquid have this high ground. They've given themselves a decent spot to play from, but moving just a touch too close to FaZe, as that 4-man squad really does have the raw firepower necessary to kill off Liquid.
And while Young just towards the center, not even doing anything. It's not really easy to be spotted by anyone. There's that small line of sand there he can just hide from.
Mixie very nicely covering this angle. Knows that this rock is one of the primary forms of defilade out on that side of the circle right now. As Liquid do post up smack bang in the middle. Samty just to the north, while Young off to the east of Ibiza directly behind him, and Ibiza's looking west, so it could be a spectacular position for Weil Young to spring, but he wants to hear gunshots first. He wants to see people die before he makes his move. Because right now for Na'Vi, the potential for winning this round is there. We saw it from Enso, we saw it from Wizards the other day.
It's totally there, and Liquid is the one that's surrounded. Let's see the decision coming down from FaZe. They have a lot of members. They would choose to dive in. They are an aggressive team. Lots of smokes being thrown down. Slowly approaching. Mexi covering the south angle.
They might just walk straight on top of Santi. Smokes over towards Weil Young and Ibiza, though, giving complete coverage, so their lines of sight removed. No more cover fire for anybody else on the map. FaZe really looking to isolate and pinpoint.
FaZe right on top.
Up Santi. It's close. Ibiza over the rock. Liquid are like this, they're regrouping, repositioning, but Fuzzface have the backstab, and FaZe will take Liquid out now into a 4v1. Na'Vi, they open fire, but Ubar says, not today, Na'Vi. You were my friends, but now you're my enemies.
And another round win for FaZe Clan to begin day number 2 here of Miramar. What an exciting start we have here.
It's an exciting start for everybody, apart from FaZe. It was, and a middle, which was also boring for FaZe. Starting at phase 7 of this, they had 1 kill. They had 1 kill. It's night and day, the difference between them, but they still got the 10 points for the victory. They're still going to make them look very, very good on the scoreboard, which we have available for you already because our API is like that.
Wow.
Nice and instant. So 6 kills for FaZe Clan. They're able to take 16 points in total. Na'Vi, however, every point from every kill, 13 in total. And if they got that first position, if they were able to just have FaZe and Liquid destroy each other, it could have been a very different scoreboards kicking off today. But great performance by Liquid up into that 3rd position. I want to start with this, and they started pretty early. Alliance, 1 guy
towards Campo Militar.
I'm just wondering if we are going to ever have a hard northern west circle, which will basically force everyone to like Cobreria, El Pozo, or maybe all the way to Alcantara.
That's
which no one in professional play actually goes to.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering with Na'Vi as well. They are consistently going, as they are now, down towards Puerto Paraíso and Impala. And if it is a northwestern circle, they will have a long way to go. But this also potentially changes up FaZe's plan with this flight path, right? Because we've seen them land La Cobreria, El Pozo, Monte Nuevo, and now they might have to change things up. Look at Avantgarde, they are the only ones. They are the lone squad going to Campo Militar.
Yeah, not just that, they got all the Tierra Bronca and Cruz de Valle. They can have all the fun. They don't even need the vehicles this time. Just tossing by the center of the map, we do see Vitality.
Where are FaZe? Where are they hiding? Am I blind?
Method actually going all the way towards...
Oh, but FaZe, they've knocked out... Oh, they're in the bottom left.
Who?
They're punching people.
Punching! HWA?
What are you up to?
And their escape, Ubas is trying to escape after a kill.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Did he run into the house with a vehicle and got the punch kill and he's escaping?
I think that might just have happened. I mean,
really?
if your tournament couldn't get any worse, it's on top of a mini.
Maybe. And he was about to find that mini and reload it. How sad is that? It's tragic.
All I want is them to get 1 kill, and Ubar is just absolutely demoralizing them. Gets in there with the fist cuffs and takes 1 down, as he will rotate across to join up with the rest of his teammates. So we have Method on that southern island there near Los Higos, and the little connecting island as well. FaZe and HWA up to the north as we watch G2 land in towards Power Grid.
Of course, Power Grid, still not a bad one as FaZe. Of course, one to be looking out for. But there are no teams towards the hard northern west, so a lot of these teams will be having a good time setting up. Looks like FaZe will be just looting small few houses at a time, moving together with those vehicles.
And I don't think we'll see anyone shift up there either. With this circle centered over Los Leones, good for Na'Vi, great for those centralized teams already. M19, Moonwolf, Wild, who have been taking up position in Los Leones all day yesterday and today. Alliance's Western Hold, as well as Liquid on the northwestern side, just below G2, already in the circle.
I think this is the result of what we have from not just day one, but last round. HWA and also Method, they thought it was way too hard for them to come towards that north side. Unless they go through that, they have to go far west or far east, which takes too much time. They have to go through Knights, potentially G2, so there are too many teams that they have to risk by going towards that northern side. So they hard shift onto the south this time, both of them making the same decision. Luckily, the first circle seems to be working out for them.
This was Method's haunting ground in round 1 and 2 of day 1, right? They started off down near Los Higos, and then after a couple of rounds, they changed things up and started landing more centralized.
Near water treatment or some northern side cities like that.
So they swing back into action down there in the south. Here we have Na'Vi off to the east of the circle. They've got themselves spread very thin across that coastline. 2 down in Puerto, 1 just north, and then 1 north of Impala itself. Take a look into these cities. Vitality, they are just outside of the circle, north of La Bendita. And they've got easy access into the next play zone, but behind them, Wizards, Knights, and even NIP have the angles to come in from the north.
Same, 3 teams going into Leones, M19. Wild and I believe Moonwolf at looting out each part of that city. As we saw some of them actually engaging at the early part of the game, trying to gain, or at least someone actually crossing the line first, and then the fight started. But seems like after day 1, they have a good idea where they want to loot together.
The instant orm, south of Los Leones it looks like. Nobody nearby really. A couple of squads within reaching distance. I'm not sure. Oh, is that Wild making a move for it? They've got a vehicle and it looks like they might just be shifting south to pick that drop up.
They're already towards the southern side of the city, and they can try to block the ones coming out of the city by having that southern part with the water tanks.
Knights, Texas here. He's landed a couple of cracking shots in towards one of the Vitality players. Shadow behind that tree is aiming forwards with the K98, but won't be connecting, and Texas has backup nearby. He's going to push this. He wants to get over that ridge, look down onto the low ground as they move out of Hacienda. Shadow immediately absolutely bombing it away. Has a vehicle to come in. Save him up, and there is Yannick.
Just in time and a good angle where he can hide actually from Texas. So not going to be landing any kills unless we some amazing headshot happening.
It's good to see Yannick come back to competitive play after his 3-hour ban from taking an absolutely amazing shot earlier on.
892 meters, I believe.
He's so good, the automated system thought he was cheating.
Never happens to me. Did that ever happen to you?
No, I've never been banned. I don't think I've landed an 894 meter single shot either.
I don't even look that far out because I simply know I cannot land a single shot that far.
I think the best I've done was a guy was knocked on a hill at like 800-900 meters and I finished him. But nothing like that headshot he landed. Nothing like that at all.
Let's see if that kind of shot will be happening again.
It helps when your opponent stands still.
Of course. Especially when they're shooting at someone else.
Absolutely. So FaZe very quiet on the northwest. G2 will start moving in shortly. But Los Leones is going to be this big flashpoint of activity. Wild, M19, Moonwolf, Liquid now moving in with HWA swinging from the southwest. And here is Wild looking for shots across Los Leones. M19 returning fire as Wild have 3 in that building, all grouped up.
Is XMP alone or with a few of his teammates at least? Sure, they don't really want to pick fights, as they do have to go through Wild, moving south potentially.
Depends on that circle shift. Everyone prepping for that. Na'Vi already shifting to a bit of high ground south of Los Leones as well, just to try and get a position that they can hold. The awkward one for me right now is, what are Liquid doing? What are they planning? It looks like they're kind of looting as they're going along. Setting up shop just off to the west of Los Leones.
Of course, they oftentimes pushed out from Pecado to the west, but because of the circle, towards the south, a similar one compared to the last round. Not as far out into the water this time.
This actually may be one of the bigger tests for FaZe. I mean, 8C, he's over there not entirely sure how or why. I think he's fallen down from the hilltops. And he will have Fuzzface to come and lift him back
What
up.
if he just runs in real quick?
Then mistakes have been made. Yeah, I think he did just fall down from that mountain, didn't he? Beautiful cameraman. Thank you. Give me the nod.
High quality production.
I think this might be a test for FaZe, because they have to come in through G2, through Alliance, then into Liquid. There's some pretty heavy-hitting squads on their rotation, unless they make that long swing around. They could come in through the north or that southwestern side.
And from Miramar, we always had that clash between Penta, Avantgarde, and also sometimes Method, which this time seems like Method is not there because they dropped south. But Avantgarde, Penta, they are always running towards that eastern coast together. And there's one right in the middle. Penta going straight towards the circle. Avantgarde going all the way towards the coastal way. Seems like Braxco took a hit in the middle. Of course, driving is a little bit tough, and he's off the car.
Liquid, and realizing how awkward their position was, will move themselves away. They were taking shots from Alliance and M19 from west and east at the same time, as we did see on the map there. But yeah, Onuctiv is he's going to knock out his teammate, apparently. I was going to say Onuctiv is coming in behind Penta, but he's coming behind Asverin and taking him out.
Maybe he just pressed that F a little too early before the car stopped 100%. Does happen from time to time.
Mistakes have occurred.
Yes, there was nothing else. That's exactly what happened, I think.
Come on, get in the car.
But it's Penta waiting for them.
Oh, Gaxi, hello. Golden SKS takes the head off Draydon.
And there's no one else. Right now, Miracu is running for his teammate's life to be saved. But that is a dangerous spot, as... Okay, there's no way of saving him now. Car hit. Once more.
My dude, this is unreasonable.
Next level of cruelty.
What's worse, being punched to death or being slowly run over to death?
We talked about this. We run out of bullets. We want to save bullets.
Oh man, down to 4 health.
G2?
Great shots from G2, yes. Steven and Ziphon from long range. They've also got the wraparound here with Wacko and Vela coming up close to Alliance. Shifting up the ridge line. Wacko wants to peek over, thinking about it, but the nades are raining in pretty heavily as Alliance launch and lob them all out. Wacko from the left, but they've also got Velan to the right of Michelin here. Start off with a spray and Velan down reasonably low. Alliance, they're holding. Covering fire from Ziphon comes forward. And Wacko gets the first knock. Looks for Molman, takes out his DMR. Where's that head peak? Come on, Alliance, show your faces. There it is, but in comes Wacko, Velan, the rest of the cavalry arriving in behind as well, as the nade will finish off at least one of the Alliance members over here.
Because they were just down there into the lanes of Tumasera. Finally come for the backup. As you can see, T-Bone's still out there. As if you're the only one away from the squad, you should be the one, even though you are trying to flank. You do have to cover yourself, as no one will have a chance to save you. Wacko's still pushing.
G2 and Alliance keep this going. In a moment, we might want to look towards Na'Vi as they're getting pushed from a couple of angles. If G2 don't make a move here, but they are the ones outside the circle right now. It is much more important for Alliance and G2 to win this battle and then move on.
Alliance in a bit of a trouble this round as well. It is just these two teams out here at Chumacera. FaZe towards the southern part of the city, just rotating into the circle, so they will actually run into no other teams right now. Dead on team to team.
Good aiming out towards Vitality. And it's Vitality trying to hold Knight out of this central position just to the west of Los Leones. Well, they could have a number of good angles here looking out across the map. They can see people coming from varying degrees.
And Penta getting that lucky crate. What's inside? Rosa.
The Atex might help out, but we'll see what they can do with that Groza if they pick it up at all.
Good. For some long shots, has been doing better over as the day progressed through the tournament. Picking up more kills every time, but not really winning any rounds yet. They're really hungry for one of the teams with the most power.
Here is Na'Vi posted up with their full squad in between Wizards and Method. A couple of squads coming around the corner for them, but they've got these lines of sight towards Wizards. Just trying to land the shots now is the difficulty. It looks like G2, they've moved on from the battle with Alliance. They've swung up north, and now they're in a battle with NIP.
NIP just ran into the spot. They were not even close. They were out in the blue.
Now Alliance getting involved as well.
Alliance still trying to chase as G2 have moved away from them. Do they want to go further and look for those kills?
Oh, but there it is. Steven fighting Gaxi, but Gaxi had already taken down Zifon. Not just a knock, but a full kill. Steven is looking for vengeance.
NIP 3 knocked. Only Fard seems to be the one that's all the way up there. So it seems like no res is coming for any of these members.
Yeah, he is absolutely nowhere near. Maybe he can get Miracle, but NBS will get finished off. G2, are they sticking around for the finishes here? They know where Vard is, or at least the general direction.
Picking up a few more extra kills. Should be good, but they do know Alliance might push them up from the south. So I think it is a safer move to retreat after picking up a few points.
Oh, Vard. Is he going to get spotted coming out here? No, Molman doesn't see it. Ooh, you're going to go back up and check again. If he sees, there's the ridge in front of them. So he's got that revive, actually.
Only shooting against G2. It seems like NIP will be back in action if they have a lot of kids with them. As a nurse, okay, next circle's not really far away from them. They can totally just run in.
Hard northwest shift.
And look at all those teams that went to the south point.
Yeah.
Out of the city, out of Les Lone, as they have to now come in. We do have a liquid circle, finally.
Finally a liquid circle. I've been keeping my eyes on FaZe though. Very sneakily, they came down from Monte Nuevo, hard south, swung east, absolutely uncontested, unseen, unnoticed, and they're going to find themselves in the play zone now. Yet again, gatekeeping all of the squads you just mentioned as they can control that entire southeastern sector. Shots coming out. Moonwolf and Wild, it looks like, getting involved with each other. Not sure if Wild really want to. Moonwolf just want to get themselves into that play zone. Wild really are the ones holding them away. Italians with some crack shots.
As they do have to run into the higher ground. Let's see where exactly Wild is focusing.
Is HWA going to get their first kill? Are they going to do it? No, it's going to be Moonwolf that comes in, finds one of Wild. Deegs pops his head around the corner. HWA got some kills!
The first one of the Wizard!
Well done!
Claps all around.
Congratulations, first point of the Miramar for HWA.
Finally, and Wild actually pushing in towards Moonwolf.
They needed out O'Connell. Moonwolf
I don't think
jumping
Hugstar
up.
was seen.
He's in the crates, he's in the containers. He gets the Wild spray with the AK. He's looking for more. Crip and Hugstar pairing up to take Moonwolf down. One man left up, and he's gone.
Squad gone. Almost. Savage. Not Savage. Washout is just there, but actually getting shot from somewhere else. From the western side, taking hits. And Savage comes around and finishes the kill as they will be the number 15, round number 6 here.
Trying to be sneaky like that. HWA getting cleared up by Method and FaZe.
With the SLR, line times on sights, and FaZe.
Good with a 2-2 split. Reasonably central. FaZe coming in from their south. HWA and Method. Long distance shots from Yempty in towards them. Making them a little bit afraid of their rotations in.
And for HWA, if they go west, there's Method. If they go east or north, there's FaZe. And after that, there's Liquid.
Wizards in a similar position to HWA. They've gone west into FaZe and they're getting pummeled here with Liquid overwatching, looking down into that valley. As Wizards with 2 remaining members, they are pushing up onto a couple of FaZe players. I think FaZe getting in a vehicle and getting out of there though, rejoining the other 2.
With this, Liquid controls a lot towards the center, of course. And look at that.
FaZe regroup.
And Method also onto the western side of them.
Wizards completely out in the open. HWA is that 1 man remaining. Yeah, Potwar trying just to get some kills up on the board. Supplement the 1 kill that they've got so far, but I think that might be it. Might just be lights out for him.
And a lovely circle for Liquid. Trolling down as they had the 2-2 now. Okay, moving in together as a squad. As they would love to just control the eastern side and lock all those teams out. That's potentially okay for the points. But I think this one, they want to play it slowly and look for the round win here.
Yeah.
As they got the circle this time.
It absolutely feels that way, doesn't it? They are playing the circle very, very well. They've kept 4 alive. They will transfer their last remaining member into that 4-man group up. And they do have some great shots coming out from Wizards and Avantgar as now Anuktiv opening up. Snoopix finds Batulins and Na'Vi. They're being shot down by Avantgar here. They're coming over the hills. Na'Vi, while young Sadovnik, can you aim up? It's not looking good. Snoopix still trying to peek through that window. Gets out. That scope. Rekrent with a nade in hand. Oh, that was very close to a headshot as the nade lands nearby. Not quite enough damage.
What about a second one? Not quite close. As Stupik's kind of surrounded.
Very surrounded. And there's another nade from Rekrent. Oh, down for him. A knock there will open things up for Na'Vi to actually swing momentum and potentially keep Avantgar at bay. From high ground, Anuktiv 9 HP. He needs to move through. The blue is going to take him down, tickled into death as Walyung and Sadovnik absolutely annihilate them. What went wrong for Avantgar there?
Ooh, they were trying to control him. They had few vehicles next to them. Maybe they were stopped by Na'Vi first of all. Maybe something, maybe misdriving communication right in the middle. But Na'Vi basically had the better one, also getting control of the high vision from the building. And having lots of grenades certainly helped them a lot too.
Na'Vi just sneaking out of a death trap like that. They do lose a couple. It looks like they are only 2 remaining. So they move in towards Vitality, and Vitality crack back. But this is Liquid in the middle still. A little southeast of middle, but they are holding out Wizards right now. Wild, M19 looking for them. They're prone right in front of him, sitting ducks for the Wanderer. Nade will take him to half HP, but he's going to find a couple of kills. Crypt down. He got the knock onto another of the Wild players, but Savage.
Savage was wonderfully controlled there. As we're going to have a few more death coming down from the blue as there were too many fights and also knocked members.
He's throwing more. Savage is just prone there, chucking nades up towards these knocked players of M19. Shoving forward now should be able to secure the kill, but he's going to get backstabbed by Konstantin. Oh, dearie me.
Wanderer was basically the bait. They baited that shot with the teammate, giving them a point, but securing themselves the point at the same time.
M19 really getting involved on this eastern side. They've got nobody in front of them anymore. They've killed off Wild, no more Na'Vi. And nobody really is looking east. Liquid very focused on the southern side towards the west where you have Method and Alliance. Penta very much focused on Knights and Vitality in that northern sector. G2 is up there as well.
See the circle?
Okay, Liquid, calm down.
Liquid and Method, okay, Method not bad, but they do have the road in the middle, so they have to be looking for the next one to shift towards them. And they should have some smoke, but it might be a little hard against Liquid and FaZe here. Good grenade to start for FaZe.
What is the plan here for Liquid?
As FaZe rotates to the eastern side and then push.
They are stepping on the toes of Liquid here. Some good smokes for cover.
It's always FaZe. He's already nearby.
We were talking about letting Ubar loose and him playing that front man position, but you're right, it's been FaZe so far today. That's been shoving up very hard.
Yeah, just flanking from the side. He's always so much closer than anyone else. You don't really expect one to be that up close. Liquid choosing to just rotate north instead.
Reposition, cut off that eastern angle. Again, nobody has been really covering that right-hand side where M19 is sneaking in from.
Yeah, because they know those compounds are empty, because they were the ones in there. And there has been no one else really diving onto him, and other teams, of course, will not know exactly. And with that information, they safely just go back to it, make the others fight first, and then look for they can just pick up kills later on from through the windows.
Take the scraps, take what you're given. Well, yeah, they know there's no shots been coming from in there this entire time. Makes that their base camp. And now shoot out towards Vitality as M19 make their move in. They're going to be walking into the direct line of fire of Liquid. Alliance looking towards Penta down on that wide open road on the west. I guess Alliance on the west aiming towards the north as G2 trying to make the cross. Penta also doing a very similar thing. There's about 1 million smokes out there, but Alliance don't care.
Finally, they do another one in Texas, moving a lot of members of Penta.
And another one. I mean, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 10 smokes there on the road. Completely covering. Completely obfuscating any kind of visual information you can get. Chris is just going to go for a stroll. Calm as you like, all the way through the smokes. But Knights, they're set up on that secondary ridge. They'll be aiming straight towards Penta's direction.
Setting up a wall here with those vehicles, because they know at least there's still a member alive, and he's got to come out.
Okay,
Fires
Chris,
back.
there's one, but he gets immediately dispatched. We'll have to come back for the revive onto Voxic, but that is not a big problem for them. Now, Vitality in towards M19. Quick nade thrown out. Shadow got a peek, got a poke, but Shadow with a takedown onto XMP. Move forward as Yannick low on HP, but he wants to contest this rock. Jazza gets the takedown and M19 are gone, but Moleman in the meanwhile got a decent snipe with a mini and found that kill on Shadow.
Luckily for Knights, because they were about to be pushed by one of these teams at the same time, so got one instead. Or saved by M19, I would say. Look at in the midst of all that, I believe they picked up a member of FaZe, who was also shot, getting shot from Method as well.
How did Vitality get there? Because if they go straight towards Liquid, it is open ground on that plateau where they are perfectly visible for Liquid. If they go north, they're moving into Knights. They move south, they're moving into FaZe.
But I think choosing to go towards north is the better decision.
Even Knights are struggling with it as well. They're thinking, right, we swing back west. No, there's Alliance coming this way. Liquid really are just in this position of power, holding everyone on the outskirts to fight each other.
And Alliance and Method kind of helping Liquid toward the other side only. Liquid only has to look towards that north and east.
Oh, Texas, he got the first knock. Jazza does get taken down as Moleman and T-Bone moving in towards Knights with a quick nade onto Kramer. Inside the smoke, not going to work though, as T-Bone will take his life.
Yeah, not quite into the smokes yet. As T-Bone will be quite low on ammo very soon.
Vitality got their revive going, so they're in a 3v2 now against Knights. And they see Voxic coming, they know where Texas is. They could maybe allow Knights to walk in towards Liquid now, as Liquid pummeling Alliance, Molman down and out. Aiming now back up to the north. Texas gone,
Knights.
finished off as well. Liquid racking up so many kills, but they're being attacked from 3 different angles. FaZe from the south, they're looking for them. Jeems knocked by Fuzzface as Jazza does take down Voxic, but Liquid are the guys holding the compound and the ones under the most pressure.
Countering back onto FaZe. Fuzzface, but getting a lot of them removed. Yempty counters back, getting a kill on Knock here.
The molly from Fuzzface caught Jeems.
Mm-hmm.
Burnt alive inside their house. Samty returning with vengeance as well. It beats up on Fuzzface and FaZe being shut down. Samty says absolutely bloody not.
And who's the winner of all these fights? Of course, a lot of kills still happening for the other teams, but Method with a full squad because they have been just sitting on the other side across the road.
Method pulling a FaZe.
Yeah, literally, but...
Oh! Method,
what a god grenade!
Literally pulling a FaZe. Wick role-playing as Ubar today. Sick nade onto
Can they get
Yempty
in?
and Ibiza. Can they
Bullets
get to
flying.
cover? Yempty's gone. He's bleeding out too
Yeah,
quickly.
he died.
I think Ibiza's gone as well. They're both... Liquid are now down to 1 player. How...
FaZe helped them a lot. They bought a lot of time for Method to just freely just run into this site because they were all fighting busy.
The fact that Knights and Vitality and FaZe all strike at the same time, absolutely. Liquid getting done in. Collusion between the teams. All grouping up and ganking up onto Liquid. Vitality still with a couple of members up and running. 3 alive.
And a great circle for Method. They can just retreat back towards the road and make the other teams fight, and then they can just pick up whoever's left. That can just be an easy win for them right now.
Especially with the line of sight they've got onto Alliance. That cracking shot from Chris there, because I think Alliance maybe were their biggest threat on that western side, swinging a little closer to the south. Now they got that knock, they will force T-Bone to make that hard decision, go back and revive or look for kills. And that's empty gone. Liquid, this was your round, and it all comes to an end like that. Sigsy gone, as T-Bone, last man standing for Alliance. Vitality with 3 up as soon as they get that revive
Is
going.
this finally the round for Method? They are close to be getting that win.
Andy Pyro's alive, so I'm going to say yes.
Well, I'm putting down for Chris because he has been doing most amount of damage. Of course, Andy kicking in with lots of kills, helping him a lot too.
Wick with the nades, Chris with his long-range snipes.
Ooh, Vitality going towards Alliance. T-Bone just below them. You hear the footsteps?
Could cause some problems here, couldn't he? Vitality very tentative. They know Alliance was around here not too long ago. They're even thinking about retreating. Monkey's holding their 6 very heavily. No helmet here for T-Bone, though.
Also a sawed off just in case. Not going to help too much in this fight.
And they've also got Method holding that other off angle. You can see Andy has gone all the way down to the road that you were mentioning.
This is a little bit too dangerous for all the other teams. Vitality, when they run down Method, will wipe them. In the circle. Closing ND. We'll be looking for some highlights here.
He's just keeping them honest. He's keeping them locked down in that little shed. Making sure that the other 3 members of his team can potentially open up angles.
Still not bad for Alliance and also Vitality. Of course, big control by Method because they just have an open area.
You can just feel the confidence. You take one look at the minimap in your bottom right, you can see Method. They are very static. They're holding position because they know they have the better location. And here's T-Bone. Just 1 knock for his troubles, but that will be that for Alliance.
Let's see if Method moves out. Seems like they just want to take better position in the middle instead. And Monkey not... Okay, he does go... They do go for the res.
Andy with a wider angle with Wick and Chris following around as well.
Here's the thing, Method, they are actually, they're controlling a lot. They're really far apart. If Manox is brought down, and Vitality actually holds the higher ground here. So they actually control a lot more.
Really good cover for Method, though. They've got a couple of buildings they're using now before that circle hits, but there's a truck, a rock, a couple of trees out there. And that allows them to be a little more widespread, cover these longer angles. And Vitality, you know exactly where they are. They are in one position. They will be firing along one line, one plane. You know where you can cover your shots from and where you have to shoot towards. And there's Andy in that little shack.
You can't really run in here as he's
Jazza.
brought down.
This is maybe where that problem arises,
And
though.
the shots!
2 knocks. Vitality.
They do it, Method. They are close.
3v2. They're going to go for the revive onto Wick. Circle. It's done for.
They're going
Vitality
straight.
moving
Can they
in.
get the res?
They're trying, but it's too late.
No.
Down goes Manox, and now is this
Chris,
is this
the last
it? Chris
one.
is the last one. 1v3. Vitality need to find his final
In the
man.
smoke,
He's
they
out in
know.
the open, in the smoke, hide behind the tree. Quickly. Chris has
And
nowhere
just
to go.
shoot everyone, throw grenades, and they just spot the final member.
Chris.
Spray for the lucky shot. He does go all the way towards the back of the rock, so he will be safe for now, but no chance of rezzing Andy. He just has to pull off a 1v3 right now.
If he had one more smoke, he could maybe push to Andy, but it's too dangerous now. They've got the concave around him. They're pushing forward. They have his back up against the blue, and Chris has nowhere to go. It will take an absolute miracle for him to come out of this position. Andy is that knocked man at the shed.
Andy trying to give the last bit of information for Chris.
And there's Andy John. Info removed. Chris, one rock. That's all he has. One big rock, and it
That's
might
one.
work out. First knock,
That-
but it's not.
Not close. A Method. They were so close. But another round going for Vitality here, and Method were not able to finish the round for them.
Denied again.
Yeah.
Denied again. This time around, like you beg the question, was it the same type of thing? Was it that aggression that was required? They got really good angles. They found where Vitality was because that one small engagement with the Lions.
Much. I don't think any of the team is going to risk of going that far when you just don't know where the circle is going to be by the time you land and start looting already. And it's quite a way. So maybe Penta, who's actually has been going to El Azahar only, can push towards that northern line, maybe just a little bit more towards Cruz de Valle, maybe Tierra Blanca, but not all the way to Campo Militar. Let's see, we do see Wizard Enzo dropping really early.
Swinging out hard east. HWA in the northwest. La Correria again for them. As they go for a 2-2 split. XQAE and Potwar go for a bit of a wander elsewhere. FaZe still going for a very similar drop as they've been doing previously. Nearby to El Pozo, Monte Nuevo. But we also have Knights and G2 in the vicinity who could be a bit of a problem for them. Nah, FaZe have vehicles. They're going to very quickly move themselves across.
Nah, it's no problem for them. And Method also, again, going to Los Egos, all the way at the bottom side of the island. And
A
look
circle.
what we have. A circle for HWA finally in round number 7.
A circle for them, gifted to them.
They have the Oasis. They have everything for themselves. The Cobreria. FaZe will be pretty happy about this one as well. Knights, because they basically control the choke point right before every team has to go towards HWA, they can just loot out all their spot.
Penza driving on by,
Having fun at the same time.
going camping. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Udir's like, get me out of this death trap. I want a motorbike. Get me away. So I think the interesting thing for me to see is going to be that Na'Vi transition. If they can rotate up the north to this more northern circle, because so often we've seen them just go west. They travel west. It's very simple for them across the mountains, across the roads. Na'Vi still same landing position. Puerto Paraíso, not going for the 2-2 split towards Impala. They have actually shifted a little further south, in fact.
It's maybe the only round we might actually... Oh, that's a big maybe. Just have a team going all the way towards Alcantara and then rotating in from that western circle side. It will take some time, but that's a really safe path because basically no one will take that route.
Absolutely nobody. Nobody could have gone there. FaZe will know that. They've not seen anyone really fly over their heads or parachute or drive nearby. So FaZe, I think, in a position where they have the majority of the information on that western side to make the most advanced moves. We've yet again got G2 at Power Grid. Picardo taken up by Liquid. Chumacera for Alliance. And yet again Method down near Los Higos and those southern islands. So everything very standard so far.
Let's see where the next set of circle shift goes into. The crater fields, also a really good point if you get a control of it, but escaping out from that point can be a tough one because there's a lot of just open field in between. Certainly no one has taken control of that point so far. And Los Leones having 3 teams, the same ones all the time, but actually none of them, even though the circle's quite away, not having that early vehicle ride yet from any of those 3 teams.
We haven't really seen too much heavy action in Los Leones, right? We saw in one of the earlier rounds yesterday, one of Wild's members got peaked by M19. But apart from that, it's been very much the battles on the rotations. Once you leave the city, that's where things get really messy. But it's basically just been like 3 mafia families. You know, we take north, you take west, you take south, and we kind of ignore each other while we loot up.
And this circle is actually... You might just see some continuous action, kind of like what we had from Sandhawk. Like where we have bridges. We could actually see those choke points from the teams rotating in. Very limited amount of roads, and you can have some vehicles, but there are just way too high up mountains where you just simply cannot drive through that point. So let's see where they actually goes towards, because all the teams would know there's no avant-garde, so going all the way towards that northern side from the east is a safer one to take all the time.
And that's something that Penta will be keeping in mind, right? Because every single round,
yes,
Penta have watched Avant-Garde or seen them or smelt them going across these roads, and they've got themselves bogged down in fights in the blue zone. And now Penta are like, right, there's no more contest on these roads. We can go whichever direction we want. We can be the ones that go up through Tierra Bronca and from that northeastern side.
So Wizard will be having an very, very easy time entering the circle. They're right next to it. As we still only have about 4 to 5 teams slowly moving in. We do see G2 going towards Monte Nueve. Because of the circle, Buzzface did not come all the way down here this round, which he usually does for the other circles.
Everyone's going to dodge Crater Field, right? Stay away.
What if the circle... No.
Even if the circle goes...
Yeah, it's just getting out of there it's a painful one.
Stay on the high ground around it.
Yeah, even if you have a motorcycle, you just have a few warehouses there and nothing else. Yes. Exactly.
Mark 14, DMR Sniper Suppressor. And that's a pretty tasty drop.
And HWA, they are nearby. I don't know if Stoppers actually got to see that crate dropping. Knights slowly approaching these high hills.
That's not an off-road vehicle, but he's making it work. That's also not an off-road vehicle. Knights really pushing his cars to the limit.
Yeah, sometimes in PUBG you do have to really learn how to drive before you shoot. I think that's a must for becoming a pro player.
Yeah.
And there are lots of teams who would just not let a specific player to drive. You know, because they always cause trouble.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the reverse of real life. You go out drinking, you've got a friend who's the dedicated driver. In PUBG, you've got the dedicated you are not allowed to drive. Ever.
Exactly.